So it is time for the weekly entrepreneur status video behind the scenes of building the business. And first and foremost, I can say I started making this like a weekly today task because otherwise I don't always regularly make these videos. And if I don't make the videos, I cannot, one, document what I'm doing, and I can't share what I'm doing. So, I'm making it a more weekly occurrence to actually record these videos. So I'll have more footage to watch back and tell more parts of my story, basically. You can see I'm in a different attire. I usually wear clothes like this, and I love wearing clothes like this. I, for the longest part, wore t-shirts from the merch part of the business. I love the t-shirts a lot, but I figured that two parts of this. I figured, one, the t-shirts might not signal the kind of professionalism that experienced people judge a newcomer like me on. And so, one, I wanted to represent myself in a more traditionally professional way. And two, the t-shirts are very comfortable, which of course is a great thing. But I like wearing more formal clothes when I work because it makes me more inclined to do more work, basically. Because when I wear clothes that for me represent professionalism, working, then I also think more about working. Whereas if I'm wearing something, joggers or something, it's a lot more just being comfortable and, be more lazy as well. So switching the way I dress also helps me be more productive. Now, it might not be the same for you, and I'm not telling you to do the same. I'm just sharing with you what I do and what I like to do. And so what's on my mind for this week? Well, I think these 3 weeks in January have been so different. I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I made a video which was super negative or like hardship prioritized or hardship focused. Last week, I think I made a video which was super positive, talking about opportunities, luck, seizing what's in front of you. And now this week, I'm gonna talk about how it feels to just getting kicked in the nuts every day. I just love what Alex Hormozi says on this. He says something like, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says something like, entrepreneurship is getting kicked in the nuts every day repeatedly with a small glimmer of hope, far and few between those experiences, and then getting back to being kicked in the nuts over and over. Like once you actually start trying to make it work and start a business, you will experience this for sure. But the funny thing about this is, for me, the more I adjust my expectations to expect it not to go well and expect to face hardship and challenges, the more numb I become to it not working out initially, or like my emotional state fluctuates much less. And so I'll give you an example of why I thought of this, right? I think last week I just filled out the last coaching spots in my personal coaching program for helping individuals start a business, and I work with them to get their first paying customers. And so during this week, like people I thought I was going to work with who were initially super interested, for some reason chose not to continue, which is of course their choice. And I have no malice towards them or anything but the funny thing is, I've come to a point now where having those experiences, like as soon as the negative happens, my brain is like, of course, this is what is going to happen. Like, this is what you should expect happens. This is just how it works. I think not attaching so much value to whether an outcome is good or bad, like it builds for me at least some kind of resilience towards facing those kicks in the nuts all the time. Like the good times, the good situations still feel like highs and are incredible, still far and few in between. But those daily kicks in the nuts, those daily disappointments, those daily obstacles that you need to face, they become much less influential because I expect them to happen and I don't allow them to affect me in such a great way that it makes me not do work, or it makes me stop, or like I just move on and try and fix the issue immediately. One, I'm very grateful to have gotten to this point, but I just had a moment throughout this week where or sometimes I'm still surprised or reminded by the difference or in the feeling of when people ask you how you're feeling, the first response that comes to my mind is good, but every day stuff fails and it sucks, but I don't really care. Like that feeling it's easy to describe, but it's hard for most people to relate, because it's not that it's bad that the stuff fails or doesn't work. And that's really, really an interesting point of view, I think, because if stuff like this can not affect me, like it does not influence whether or not I keep going or not, it doesn't make me more likely to quit. Of course it does, but like only so on such a small margin, then there's no way it won't succeed. Also, I've been doing this for just over 2 years by now, and so like I am fully committed to making this work. But like if today all the clients I'm working with say, fuck you, we don't want to work with you, of course it's sad in the moment, and there's definitely something to be said about reflecting on why it happens. But the fact that it does happen and the reaction to it happening is so different now to what I've had previously, and it's very liberating because I can literally just be like, okay, cool, sorry to hear that, and then start working on a solution to move on. And I think, why is this valuable to you? Well, it's valuable to you because maybe you want to know what it's like for me to start this business, and I think this is a very valuable insight actually among all the other things. But I think if you can get to a point where it doesn't matter how many times you get kicked in the nuts or how many times life slaps you in the face, all the things that go wrong, if you can keep reaching out to people to deliver your service, to improve or your product, if it does not matter how many no's you get, how many obstacles you face, because you expect them to happen and they don't make you less likely to succeed, like you're almost guaranteed to be able to make anything work. If you can have that kind of resilience, like it doesn't really matter what you're doing, you will make it at some point, because life does not get in the way of those people. You build so much resilience and so much competence in dealing with those kinds of obstacles. At the stage you're at, the obstacles that life presents you with will be insignificant at some point. And then you will level up, get to a new point, and then you will be slapped in the face again, and you will fall to your knees, and you will feel like everything is against you, and you'll be back to wanting to cry and wanting to quit. But then at least you'll be at the next level, and that's just the name of the game. But that's where I'm at right now. Like I've had a week, and the week has really been up and down, and I'm happy about all the good stuff, and I'm also happy about all the bad stuff, because it shows me that I'm doing the right things, and it shows me that I'm growing as a person. I think it's one of the few times you also get to see how you develop. I have a reaction to something where even I'm surprised by my reaction. I think that shows you, wow, that's actual growth, or change at least, however you want to view it is of course a choice. And so, yeah, I just think this was a super valuable insight. Take from it what you want. An interesting week. Right now, I think I've had a week where I've been less busy, and it's very clear that when my days are not filled from getting up in the morning to going to bed, like to the brink, of course I'm less stressed, and what some would consider that good. But I also feel how much more inclined I am to do a little below what I could do. Decrease my effort a little bit. And I don't like that. So I'm trying to be more conscious of, thinking twice about, what is a different thing that I could do today as well? And then, I have a today list for every day of the week, move some stuff up ahead, and then make more time later during the week for doing other stuff that I might not have planned. Last reflection is, I'm really happy that I've decided to record all of these long format videos in advance. It means if I go traveling, I don't have to record stuff. I can just edit stuff and publish it. Kind of already preparing for, later times during the year or the future. And so, pat myself on the back for that. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do it now. Not a lot of you guys are subscribed, and please do so. We're on the road to hit 1,000 subscribers. Why do I need to hit 1,000 subscribers? Well, obviously, at that point, you can start getting YouTube AdSense. But the bigger goal is I want to create a business and a community where I help make entrepreneurship available to everyone. And, these kinds of videos are part of doing that. But I can't do that without your help, because that is how we reach more people. And when we reach more people, we can change more lives. So please subscribe so you can keep getting these videos, and also so we can make a bigger impact in the world and help more people make more money and change their lives. It is time for an update. And today's Saturday. It is the 8th of February. I just sat thinking about what I feel like I could contribute with in this video. And I feel like one of the main changes that's been occurring in the last week or 2 weeks is that I'm really happy with the results and the progress that, I could say that I'm influencing, but really that my clients are are creating right now. Super proud of them. They all take the program very seriously and are hardworking towards making their goals a reality. And it makes me so happy and so fulfilled that I can help contribute to making their dreams come true, or at least get them part of the way there. And the fact that that is also gonna make my dream a reality is just absolutely amazing. So really happy with the progress of the coaching session right now, or the round of coaching clients that I'm working with right now. And so besides the clients and the startup coaching program and my work with them, one of the other things that I've been thinking about is previously I've been super preoccupied with just working a lot, like doing a lot of hours, just being quote unquote productive, being busy, doing a bunch of different things. And I still want to work a lot. I still want to put in a lot of hours, but I try to be more willing to spend more time making sure that I work on the right things. Meaning, do I solve the right problems? And do I put in my effort in the places that are most value driven? And this is actually quite a weird experience, but I'm having days with less work. That's been an interesting realization, because I used to think more was better. And for the majority of the part, more is better. I still try to do a lot besides the few like really, really important things that will drive the business and the brand forward in other ways. Content creation is a big part of that. But I've stopped really working on the merch side of things. Don't really feel the need to push that. I'm happy just to have it for myself, really, as something I wear and want to represent, and not something I feel the need to sell. That has freed up a lot of time, which really was not spent productively compared to what the main part of the business is. And so that's allowed me to actually take on more clients, spend more time on each of those clients, and create more content for social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I mean, that really shows progress. You know, the engagement is growing, and the videos are getting more views, more engagement, slowly but surely. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do it now. On the road to 1,000 subscribers, so we can help more people become entrepreneurs, build businesses, and make an impact. Yeah, I'm gonna release a bunch more of these building the business videos. I think that's kind of the experience I have talking about what activities are actually productive stems from experience with doing a lot and doing both things that turn out to be productive and not productive. The thought I have from that, or the kind of the TLDR from that, is in the beginning, my advice is probably gonna be to consider what you're doing and then get started on that. And again, just get started. Like the fact that you just get started will help you go so much further and help you get started, help you continue to go. And then along the way, you can make corrections for what is the right thing to do or the right place to spend your time. And yeah, so I'm trying to be more lazy in a productive sense. Like I try to be even more critical with how I spend my time, not how much time I spend. I think I was more obsessed with that before. And so far, it's going great. At least it's going in the right direction. Hopefully, by the end of April, taking on then the last free round of clients probably start moving on to paid coaching. So if you're watching this and you want to start a business and you want free coaching, the next round that I do with my clients is probably going to be the last free one. Go and sign up if you haven't already, but I don't know how many spots are going to be available. Or you can always go check out the school community. The school community is a fun thing. Right now I'm running ads to get a bunch of people to join, just to have more people in there so we can create a bigger impact, help more people start businesses. So yeah, I hope that's something you want to be a part of in any way that you can, either now or in the future. There's also a course, the 12 steps to get anything you want, which literally you can use to figure out what you want to do with your life. So if you watched all the way until this point, you're a real one. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe so we can reach more people, change more lives. So Saturday again. Just to let you know, today I didn't write any notes, so I'll be going completely off by heart, and I have no idea what I'm going to say in this video, but I'll try and think about what makes sense. The first thing that comes to mind is progress is going well for the coaching clients. One client is about to do the first free work or serve the lead magnet, and the other clients are getting started with outreaches and really working to serve their first lead magnets, which is really, really great, especially considering it's only been about 1 month so far. So that's really incredible work compared to how long it took me for the first round of clients. So I'm really happy to see how fast we're moving and adapting and the work we're doing in between meetings. That's really nice. Now, February, I can't believe it's already been 2 weeks into February. And we're almost, like, honestly, a sixth of the way through the year. Time passes by so quickly. And something that's been on my mind for the last week or so is reminding myself that it doesn't matter how I feel, and reminding myself that it is hard. It is meant to be hard. Don't try not to make it hard. And I say that because in the last week or 2 weeks, found myself falling into a rhythm of being okay with like less productivity some days if I've not managed to plan sufficiently ahead for the week and I've completed all of my tasks for the day, then to be like, well, then I don't need to do anymore today. Of course, there's a nuance to the issue with doing that, right? And as long as I'm doing the actually important work with the clients, things are going to move forward. But there are a ton of things I could do besides that. And so I'm trying to gather in more adjacent tasks and not necessarily the first money creating tasks, but more adjacent tasks that in the long run are going to be beneficial to do, such as growing the school community, for instance. And that's been going well. And I'm really happy that I'm reminding myself that like this is what I signed up for. This is the commitment I made to myself. And I have my own reasons for why I keep reminding myself that I need to continue like this. And I try to display those images like every day and be like, keep going, do more, work harder. And for me, I like it that way. Something else, I watched a podcast with Stephen Bartlett and Alexa Mosey the other day, which first and foremost was a great episode. I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch it at some later point. In the podcast, they talk about practicing versus parroting. And I feel quite confident in the fact that I'm not just parroting everything that the successful people are saying, but I'm trying to be more mindful of presenting like, this is my view on something based on what I've experienced, instead of just saying like, this is what someone said and that's why you should do it. And finally, it's great to see that we're making progress. Slow and steady wins the race, right? And I really do want to build the foundation of proving that I can do this. And I'll continue for free with another round, the final round after this batch of clients. Another Saturday, another status video. These videos are not just about touchy-feely. Am I feeling great? Am I supposed to feel great? Not too long ago, I made a video talking about mental health or how I deal with mental health. Feeling great is not a prerequisite, but if you can feel great and do the work at the same time, then why not, right? A lesson I learned over the last couple of weeks that really have just consolidated itself now is that even though I start working with 5 people who are super into it and, they're engaged, they want it to work, there is a certain likelihood that one or more of them are gonna drop out in the course of working towards, for me, it's a coaching program of helping them start their own businesses. And so if I want to make a program and a course with 5 people and have 5 people succeed, then the chances of having 5 people succeed are going to be much higher if I end up starting out with 6 or 7 clients instead of the 5. And this is now something I've had to learn twice, be impacted enough to change your behavior the next time it happens. So now it's happened twice, and so I'm definitely going to change my behavior for the next time, which means I'll learn. At the same time, I hope this is a lesson that I can pass on to my clients. So that's a lesson that I thought I'd share with you guys. I guess that translates into other parts of life as well, right? If you want to be on the safe side of doing things, then do more than what you expect. And that actually makes me think of the 10x rule by Grant Cardone, where he talks about always overstepping or always over-delivering, right? Do 10x more than you think you need. So yeah, there's always a value in doing more than is expected. Yes, I've also gotten a new idea I have ideas all the time, but I've gotten a new idea that I intend to take action on, which is an idea I have to pursue the ambition I have to make entrepreneurship available to everyone. And so right now, almost all of my focus is helping people get started to getting their first clients or their first customers. And so I thought, besides the clients I coach, besides the school community I've started, what kind of content can I make that is going to make that happen faster? And so I've gotten a new idea for for a certain type of interviews or talks, you could even call it. And so over the next couple of weeks, probably, I plan on doing a certain number of interviews with certain people. And hopefully that will translate into a series of interesting conversations and content that people can use and learn from and use in their own lives or starting their businesses or be inspired to do so. So stuff and things are happening. I think last week I also mentioned that I'm trying to be more intentional with doing the absolute most productive work for the same time unit. And this is something that's really forcing me to reevaluate. Okay, I know I have this list of tasks, but what is actually the most important thing I need to do right now? Is it really the thing I wrote down? Or is there something I should be doing right now that will help me get closer to the goal I want faster than what I thought previously? And that's going great. And it's a habit that, of course, needs some practice, but it's gaining some momentum, and I'm learning also. One of the last days, I think I made a post saying something about the fact that why not make life's purpose about learning, or that my life's purpose is dedicated towards learning. And that is definitely true. I just enjoy learning and growing every damn day. Nothing is boring when you're trying to challenge yourself and learn new things and grow as a person, grow in your business, your sport, whatever endeavor that you pursue. If you try and learn and become better every day, you will never have a boring life. And so that, I feel like, is a very valuable lesson that I can put out there. I'm definitely being reminded of the everyday ordinary tasks, the basic stuff that needs to happen every day, or the not fun things. And like doing that, I'm telling myself, this is the reason why most people don't succeed, because they don't continue doing these few things over and over for long enough to get the results inevitably. So yeah, I mean, we'll get there. The mission is make entrepreneurship available to everyone. We'll get there at some point. Right now, it's one foot in front of the other and focusing on the first phase, right? Get people started, get them their first customers, and then we'll take it from there. And so, yeah, I think that's overall. If you wake up every day and think, okay, how can I make the most of this day, or get this day as close to my ideal or perfect day as possible, you will never have a boring or poor life. And so I hope you can find some entertainment or value in this video. Comment below what's your biggest business problem right now. I would love to hear so, and let me know if you want my answer. Otherwise, as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week. And as always, if this is the last video, stay disciplined.